Yes, everything is amazing. Yeah, everything is amazing. Now, I want to start. I want to try and sing one of Jaiksana's songs. Like I don't know if I can manage, but I'm gonna try and read the lyrics.
It's okay.
This is amongst one of the most favorite songs I've ever heard. Okay, so.
Left I never turn you burning the bridges still up no blood cause you had enough
Guns are going to the heart. Hey, better like me, better like me. Felt angry, especially betrayed like me. Laugh like me, or did like me. Diagnosed with depression, had in peace like me. Now you're not like me. You never laughed like me. And asking or wishing you're not like me. When you're shut up, no.
Yo,
Hey,
you're
bro.
right, man.
Now.
Yeah.
Now, if that's how my music
but
sounds
I did.
Yeah.
1 to 5. Rate me. 1 to 5. 1 to 5.
1 of 5,
1 of
I'll
5.
give you a 3.5.
But that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good on me.
I mean, you butchered the lyrics, but the intention was definitely good.
Yeah. No, it is awesome. One thing about Jaiksana's music that I can say that I struggle with is figuring out the lyrics, because like he tries as much as possible, as much as he can, to make sure that he puts all the English he learned from everywhere into the songs.
Yeah,
Now
from my primary school, from vocational school where I learned how to do carpentry, all that English.
But Jay, where did you learn that English?
Carpentry school. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but honestly, I love your music. I know I'm your friend, but for some reason, I think beyond friendship, I listen to his music a lot. Don't say the same thing. Don't say the same thing that you listen to his music a lot. Do you?
But I do, of course. He has good music.
Now, tell me the one song of Jaiksana that you can sing at least 2 lines.
Yeah, give us 2
Yeah,
lines.
Mama.
Yeah.
We're gonna play Mama.
Yes.
For some reason.
Yeah.
I need to Mama.
Yeah.
No, where is Jaiksana Mama? I'm gonna play Mama. Yeah.
Does a deep message into it?
No, don't explain it. Don't explain. The song explains itself. And I want to see you sing it.
So you can give me the phone?
Wait, you want the lyrics?
Okay.
No. We say that you're going to sing it on your own, right?
Okay.
Oh yeah. Mama, I love you. I want you to know
you're nothing without you.
But when I do, when I do, you're right. What they do.
Mama, you're nothing without you. Listen, Romeo, I'm gonna go get that printed and then framed. I put it in my house. Mama, you're nothing without you.
You deserve it. You've been working.
No. So, liar. Welcome to the show, Jaiksana.
Thank you, guys.
How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm doing good. I've been wanting to come on this podcast for like a minute. Finally here.
Yep. Welcome, man. We've been wanting to have you here for quite a long time, but a lot has been happening.
These guys wanted to have me here since before the podcast began.
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
it has been like a very long time, and but we're happy you're here now. And why we couldn't have you is because a lot has been going on.
Yeah.
And which actually gets us to understand that Jaiksana is just like a piece of a lot of things. So it's like, I like it when you ask him, it's like, what do you do for a living? And it's like, which part of what I do you want to know?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, there's like a lot. So if someone is going to ask, like, who is Jaiksana in a very short line, what are you going to tell them?
So the very simple answer is I'm a rich man trapped in a poor man's body.
Wow. That's a good one.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
all the things that I do is basically to look for money. So you can see the struggle, and you can tell this person wants money. It's a poor man, rich man may be trapped in a poor man's body. But yeah, realistically, I am. I don't know where to begin. Really, I can answer this question. So, but I'll list the things that I do. So I do music, and then I do community work. I like to think that community work is what defines me, right? Because like my interests are really like about people, about communities, but about really, creating change and ensuring that people are different than they were yesterday. This is really relevant here in Uganda, where you have a refugee population, people who left their homes and currently have nothing to their names. So we want to rewrite that narrative. So that's basically, I think, what I would say define me and my life. But I do music, I do graphic design for big organizations.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for a poster, don't text me.
Please don't do that.
Don't text me. I do videos. I do. What do? I do music. Part-time stripper. I'm not. No. So I do a bunch of things basically. Yeah.
No, awesome. And which brings us to something that we want to talk about. So when you look at the way we operate nowadays, like more especially our age mates, there's like no single thing you're going to find us identifying ourselves with. There's like a lot of things, We, at some point you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that. We like hiding behind the fact that we're having passions over some things. But the actual sense, we want to survive. Like we just want to have it the next space. And there's a lot that really takes that I think we can have a discussion over to really like, what does it mean to be able to be a 20-something-year-old stable guy with one super good job that can be able to take a lot of your time and say that, hey, you can be able to take a vacation. Because like I work with a couple of other people and some of them who don't actually live here, and they're like, hey, I'm gonna be going to such a place to take a vacation. I don't think we have that kind of luxury. We don't really do have that kind of luxury.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I kind of hinted on it, though indirectly in one of my songs. So in the song "Where Is Home," right? There's a verse where I sing like, I'm alone. There's no one behind me, and I talk about the story of a person called Lino. I was like, I'm not like Lino, right? Because Lino can take a risk and then he sit on a steeple. You know what entrepreneurs do?
Yes.
That pause.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if the business collapses, he has a backup.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But I think for a lot of young people, when you have 20,000 Ugandan shillings and then you invested in buying switch to start a business, if that doesn't work, that is like your whole, income for the year or something crashing down.
Exactly.
So if you look at young people, basically right now, I think a lot of people are in the gig economy, right? Is they have skills or they earn skills, right? That can, get them, jobs, odd jobs usually, right? What we call leja in Uganda.
Exactly.
So you look for tomorrow someone calls and say, I have this work that needs to be done, and you're like, yo, I can do it, and then you get 30,000, and then someone tomorrow calls you. So you don't have like a stable income, right? And that's why it's very funny. Like you find people in Uganda, our people basically like one month someone is rich, the next month or two he's broke, like really broke, and it's like no, the money is coming because like you're in the gig economy, you're looking for works here and there, you have no stable source of income. So if I look at like the bigger picture of everything, I think that because it comes down to the question of like, how much does education actually matter? Because I have seen people who have gone to school and then they are unemployed or they're even unemployable, right? There's like this difference between being unemployed but also not being able to being unemployable. Like people don't see the value in your education or the skills that you have. That's why for me, I encourage a lot of young people cultivate as much useful skills as possible, right? Because these skills will help you no matter where you go, right? Like if you leave Uganda, you go to South Sudan and you're looking for a job, you can draw a quick map of the skills that you have. So I drive, I sing, I do poetry, I build or whatever and so on. And these skills, this map, you're able to like think, okay, there's a poetry club in Aurora, in Juba. If I join it, what opportunities does this present? I drive, which organization is looking for drivers. I build. How can I use my body, my physical energy to actually earn money? So for me, I think that a lot of people should invest in earning skills. But also I think with education, I think the space is not like overly saturated with like, degrees and stuff like that. I think that people can still make it there. But I think that even with education, there has to be a lot of intentionality. Exactly. Like I've seen people in Uganda, we have NIMSA. Sorry, I'm name dropping. We have NIMSA and we have these business schools.
Moves.
99% of the students are South Sudanese. I'm like, where are people gonna work from? Like, what do you want to do with this business, bachelor's degrees or whatever and so on? So for me, I think that people need to think about if you're going to school, what do I actually want to use this degree for, right? Because this degree can enable you to find an employment. 1, 2, this degree can help you start a business, right? So think about those things and think about like, how useful actually the thing that you're studying for is. And then if you're a person who can really afford to go to university and, earn these expensive degrees, really cultivate a lot of skills that would like earn you money.
Yeah, no, that's very true. But then as we think about that, there was something that was moving in my mind, We are living in a space whereby, I don't know what it's about our generation, we both could probably be millennials. He's a Gen Z, so probably doesn't relate with it. You realize that there is a lot of young people like us who want to leave an impact in their communities. So they get torn sometimes, where you're struggling so much that you want to do an impact in the community, but also an impact to yourself.
Yes.
This way, sometimes, even though you get an access to a job, there's that pressure that you really want to do something. And this is why when you go to the camp, there's like a battle into the mind of the young people. You want to open an organization in the sense of you want to do something in the community, but you also really want to survive as a human being. I don't know really whether that mode is such a sustainable mode or whether you've had time thinking about that.
No, I've had time thinking about this.
Yes.
Really in depth.
Yes.
Because my story in US is almost similar.
Exactly.
We came to Uganda, we saw a huge gap, and we thought that we could make some impact here.
Yes.
So we started programs and organizations to engage people to fill in those gaps.
Yes.
But if you ask me right now, 7 years later, like what I should have done when I came to Uganda, I would probably have a different approach to that question, right? So I heard this talk. I don't know who it was, but it was a woman. She was being interviewed about like how do young people change the world, and she said, and I heard this like in 2019 or something. When I was young, I was filled with so much energy and zeal to do work, and she said like if you want to change the world, really start by making your bed. And I'm like, and I was like. Yeah. And I was like,
yes,
this is a bag of bullshit. But listen. 7 years later, I think I grew wiser. I think it started to make sense, right? I think that people need to sort of understand that the world is really huge, and the problems that we face are really huge, right? One person cannot solve it, right? Like over the years, through our program, I think we've reached, let's use the word reached.
Yes.
We've reached over like what, 40,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 people throughout our projects. But if you look at it in the grand scale of the refugee camp and the statistics, 1 million people, whatever and so on, that is still a drop in the ocean.
Exactly.
But that work makes more sense, right? That people are being touched, people's lives are getting changed. But in direct response to your question, I think that the lady who said make up your bed, she said really start by fixing your life, right? if you wanna get education, right? Because I think that you would change the world much more better if you went to school than if you want to spend your life in the refugee camp trying to create change. And this might sound controversial, but like, listen to me. Like, if you're in the camp, you want to become a doctor. If you actually study to become a doctor, I think that you're gonna help a lot more people than if you try to do something right now.
Yeah,
that's one. So two, try to fix yourself. First, try to fix yourself. Two, try to organize. Right? I have worked with youth groups from a lot of countries here in Africa and also abroad. People who take their time off of school, right, and say we want to do this, right? They fundraise for that cause. They come as a group from school. They do the work and then they go back to their lives. I don't think that someone should throw their lives completely into a challenge. I think that look at the challenge as something that you're collectively handling together with friends and peers. You know, so don't make one thing your single focus.
Yes.
Try to bring friends, organize, do it, and then go into other things that refers to the first point, fixing your bed.
Yeah.
Right? And then I think finally, I think that is good for young people to, instead of everyone wants to create an initiative, for them to identify challenges. And find, back to the same second point, find people who share similar ideas around that challenge, create solutions, right? And then come as one group. If you're an organization, you're the youth group of something, look for funds as that thing. Like I've seen something that really throws me off. You employ someone today, they volunteer with you, work with them, and 70% of their time in the organization, they're writing a profile for their organization. And I'm like, if you actually see a challenge that we're not addressing, can you first like try to pitch this challenge to people here?
Exactly.
Right? Let's talk about it as a collective. Let's put brain together. Let's put resources together, because I think some organizations already have resources. Let's throw resources into a challenge and try to see it work. The problem with Africans is that everyone wants to be the leader. Not even the leader, the head.
Yes.
When you say the leader, it almost sounds like, you know, it's about this noble cause of wanting to lead something. No, people want to be the head. So I feel like, you know, if you see a challenge, really like try to pitch it to the organization, see if they can, you know, pay attention to it.
Yeah. So as we are going to come back to maybe talking about the aspect of collaboration and probably discussing like impact in the youthful spaces and the youth spaces, probably even organizations, but even within people, how people collaborate. But as we go there, I have some questions for you, and I think it's going to be, I do this or not, right?
Okay.
So they're not hard.
This is a setup.
Cause some people hurt people, it's a circle, and people are hurting. So when the radio I be here, when you call I be here, girl.
Alright, so Jaiksana, soulmate or best friend?
Oh my god. I would say best friend.
Okay.
I think that the concept of soulmate is pretty much rooted in this idea that you feel something deeply and that thing has no parameters for definition, right? Like, like I don't even like, listen, I can touch my skin, I can cut myself, see blood, I want to see my soul, I haven't seen it. How do I even have a soulmate before I even see my own soul? And that's complication, I think. But yeah, but like friends, I think there's this, I respect friendships like above all types of relationships, right? With your brother, that relationship you have with your brother, right? It's a relationship where you are tied and bonded by love. So sometimes accountability and saying things to people in the way that they're supposed to be said is difficult, right? And then it doesn't matter what happens in the relationship. You know that it is bound to be, it's going to be there, whether you like it or not, right? So, but with friendships, it's different, right? I think the level of accountability is not too much compared to love relationships. And listen carefully, because with love relationships,
And
like
this dude hates accountability.
no, it's not about hating accountability. It's this. It's that like
Yeah.
with friendship.
Yeah.
Friendships are really defined by mutual interests,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
So the reason why maybe some of us are here together is because we share mutual interests. There's things that we share, we like in common, and whatever and so on.
Yeah.
Now friendships fade in and fade out.
Mm.
Sometimes when those mutual interests, don't
Mm.
align anymore,
Mm.
you become acquaintances. Like
Yeah.
you know this person from before,
Yeah.
but you're not that tied and deeply connected like before.
Do you know the same thing with soulmates?
I don't think that's the same thing with soulmates. I think soulmates, the idea of soulmates is pretty much created as as a marketing ploy to love and the idea of romanticism.
Do you talk to any of your exes now?
I do.
Do you, George?
Yes, I do.
So do you think the way you ended it was like pop, or it was like you?
It was you.
George,
So Jaiksana
what
is
is
pointing-
you? Explain you.
No, it's him. That's according to the way you brought
So what
it.
are you answering? You this Nuke?
You understand it?
Manga Saturday.
I don't know, but you say you. Not in that slow motion. Like maybe you sat down together with the lady and then you explain all your sides why the thing is not working out. So that is where I felt like the you part comes in. Yeah. Not like the cut. Like, hey, please, you are done.
It was a lady, right?
Now, is
No,
it
no.
a man, bro?
I'm searching.
Just to confirm.
That's the confirm.
All right. No, this is a good one. So now, Jaiksana, gentle touch or laughter?
Gentle touch. Gentle touch. Listen.
All right,
Listen,
but,
and-
but
and-
this is a little bit contradictory.
Let me explain
because
it to you. Let me
you went for
For best.
I don't trust this guy's friend. He went for best friend,
Best
not
friend.
soulmate.
Yeah.
Now he's going for gentle.
But the
touch,
thing is
not
this.
laughter.
But the thing is
Not
this. As
laughter.
Africans, we're so touchy feely. Like like we're laughing. Hey. Hey, no. Like if we don't touch you,
You don't feel
that
like
joke is not established. Joke is not established.
Okay.
And then also like,
Mm.
I think.
I can give you that. Yeah.
It's like I've never really paid attention to touch for a long time, except for like I told you, like Africans were touchy feely. Like we laugh, we slap you, we touch you.
Mm.
But man, there's so much. There's a spectrum to touches. We're not gonna talk about it.
So, gentle touch or laughter? You
Gentle
go with
touch.
gentle touch. All right, George, what'd you go with? Gentle gentle touch.
George wants them mixed together. Give me a cocktail.
I think the two. Yeah.
Huh?
I go with the two.
No,
No. George, there's nothing like two here.
Yeah.
You have to choose one.
Laughter.
Laughter. Why?
Just one laugh.
You don't like the gentle touch. Maybe that's how. This is why things went.
Exactly.
Okay. What about you, by the way?
I think I'm a guy of gentle touch.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Can we change the name of the podcast to Gentle Touch? We share all that in common. Gentle Touch Podcast with Romeo and George.
No touchy podcast. No, I think I do gentle touch because for some reason, okay, apart from just what Jaiksana mentioned and the fact that it's our culture to really be a little bit touchy, I think I communicate most when I can physically see or touch things.
Even next to a lady?
Yeah, sure. Like I really communicate more. It doesn't mean. I mean, there's, as you said, there's a couple of spectrum to it. There's also respect as part of it.
Yeah.
You see, now it's even I'm communicating. I feel like when I touch you, I feel my point is going. Like I feel like I'm talking to you. You know. So, but and yeah, I treasure laughters. But for me, I feel like laughter is like a form of
Yeah.
me expressing now what is really inside me.
Yeah.
Sometimes, most times, I really fake it. It's not like real. Sometimes it's not. It's
Yeah.
a thing to just make sure that I appease people. But sometimes it is. I'm not faking any laughter on this podcast. It's like real, really. But the aspect of gentle touch, I feel like, is my biggest form of communication. And I love communication. As me myself, if I don't really communicate with whoever it is, I feel like we have a huge disconnection.
Yeah.
Actually, to know that I'm not with you, even though you're my girlfriend or my wife or anything, I'm not gonna confuse
And
those
by
two.
the way, there's this point
If I don't,
where-
if I don't talk to you, if we don't communicate, it means
Timestamps.
no.
Timestamps. I'm gonna be in the comment giving you the timestamps.
Yeah,
but
so
like-
I think I really communicate best with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
No, but I
Yeah.
think like you can hold hands,
Yes.
and that can mean so much.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
So like for me, touch, yeah.
Which now brings me actually about the holding hands. Brings the part of moonlight walk
Yeah.
or cozy fireplace. Moonlight walk
Yeah.
or cozy fireplace.
Yeah. This is a question of African or European. Who wrote these questions? Moonlight work. What in the Michael Jackson is this question?
Yeah. No, but yeah, but we do. We do. We do walk, right? I'm not sure. I'm a cozy fireplace guy. I don't think I'm that. I don't think I'm that very secure of my life to make it work.
Yeah.
I don't want to run because Jaiksana walked one time on that road
No, but like,
and he moonlight ran.
yeah, whatever that means.
That experience was
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
if you listen, for context, the idea of working at night here, right?
Yeah.
Means you could lose your phone. Someone could just decide to punch you for the sake of it. No, yeah, there was once we came from a sing-along party here in Arua, and walking home. I don't know, Franco Lokunyumi got kicked. And I teleported out of the scene.
So you left him out of the scene.
Yeah, I mean, like, and there's stories to it. Like, Franco would tell you, like, when he fought and stuff. Like, those are stories that, like, you don't want to believe, but it's like, the tragedy does not give you the space to mock the person. Like, let's just, like, you know. Yeah, so definitely, like, cozy fire stuff.
So there's this there's this situation. I don't know if it's the same with the moonwalk. Like you're talking with your girlfriend, and it is during like a moon day, like at night. Moon.
It's okay,
So,
George.
and we're talking Romeo.
Listen, let me finish.
Solar eclipses, nigga.
Because moonlight day.
Moonlight day.
God.
So you're talking with a lady, like, can you see the moon? Oh yes, I'm seeing the moon. Can you see the stars? Then from nowhere there is that, I don't know if it's a baby or wherever on the moon. Like, can you see it well? Imagine it's me carrying you. Like, you talk that. Is that a moonwalk or something different?
George,
That's a moon talk.
you see,
That's the moon talk.
you see babies in the moon?
Man, there's something, I don't know. You didn't see that, right?
Babies in the moon.
There's something like baby or something just on the moon.
We're changing changing the name of the podcast. Moon talk.
Moon talk. A tagline.
Moon talk.
Babies in the moon.
Babies in the moon. A conversation about science and conspiracy theories by George. That's good,
Yeah.
guys.
Lastly, this is gonna be our last one. Heartfelt later
Yeah.
or spontaneous gift.
So, heartfelt letter, and I'll explain why. I think that we, sorry, Africans. No, but I think that in the context of South Sudan and Uganda, if you buy someone a gift, they would probably not appreciate it as much as, you know, the
You
intention
intended
behind
it,
even the
exactly.
intention behind
Mm.
it. Like
Mm.
there was someone, I'm
Mm.
not gonna say who brought me a sweet, right? Just one piece from Canada. I was like, you know, this sweet is made from maple syrup, right? So it's special. You don't get anywhere. And I was in Canada and I wanted to bring this one for you. And it meant so much to me, right? The problem with gifting in general, right, locally here is that, like, people live below the poverty line. So there's specific things they need.
Yes.
So if you know someone wants a phone and you buy them a phone,
They
that
will.
gift is actually appreciated, right? If you know that someone has wants a laptop, you get them a laptop. It's actually appreciated. But like think of like, oh, this is someone's birthday, you buy them a flower. It doesn't matter how spontaneous it is, it doesn't make sense. So for me, I would say that a letter goes a long way, right? Because I used to write letters, man. You know, the kids in school, the kids in school who write letters and put in the middle of books.
Yes.
That's my crew.
Yes. The boys who pass them cheats around.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Aima is one of them.
Emma, the producer of the podcast.
Is one of he was one of the guys who the cheat guy.
Yeah.
Like, they know he's the cheat guy.
Yeah.
So you'd go with the letter.
I go with the letter. What about you?
Spontaneous gift or letter? Are you a gift guy?
No, I'm not a gift guy.
You're a
But
letter guy.
But I want to follow.
No. But also don't say letter guy because of ChatGPT.
Man, can I change my answer?
Yes.
I'm gonna change my answer. I'm gonna say spontaneous gifts.
Spontaneous.
I think that, like, man, ChatGPT, Gemini,
Exactly.
y'all are beep the world.
Yes.
Inside the world in the beep.
Yes.
It's like people just like the world is so fucked up.
Yes.
Huh?
They will. The world.
They were, ooh. I'm
The
gonna say it
world.
again.
Yes.
Time it.
Yes.
ChatGPT and
Yeah.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Y'all just are the world.
Yes. Yeah, and that's true. I think for me, as you're gonna come up with your answer, you see, there was a point I used to appreciate, like written stuff. So like if someone writes to me, because another language I lose communicating more sometimes actually text. So
Yeah.
I like when someone really thinks about something and writes to me, regardless of what it is. There's a way I feel like the time they spent to write it down and all the stuff, it's
The
value,
thought
bro.
process, all of
It's
that.
value. But then one time I read a very properly written thing. The guy at the moment I was with had trouble with English because English was a second language. So for some reason, when I saw it, I forgot kumbe there was a word forwarded. Then I was like, okay. That was the back days before the AI thing.
Yeah.
And that already pissed me because it's like, yo, I don't really care. Write to me like that with your English. I'm going to write it to you like that.
Yeah. Can I tell you?
I appreciate that.
Exactly. Can I tell you a word story?
Yes.
Someone sent me "I love you." It was forwarded.
Oh, even the song says save you.
Man, the world is full of gangsters. It's a mafia out there.
Bro, you need saving over
Yeah,
that.
but
Yo. No, but that's extreme. Now at the moment, because of the AI things and all that stuff, as we recover from Jaiksana's situation, it is terrible. Like when I look for words. You send me a very beautiful thing and I see tapestry. I see delve. I see their words. These AI ChatGPT things. I can understand your feeling about something, but I want you to be as natural as you can. For some reason, there's a way we get. Like me, I'm happy with very non-scripted, extremely colorful and glittery things. I want you. That's why I came for you.
Can we talk about ChatGPT and the Geminis and all
Really?
these AIs?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this? Welcome to the host of the podcast. What are your thoughts on these
I mean,
AIs?
For me, one I can say is that they have an intention why they've really come in. Probably.
What do you think the intention is?
One is, of course, the biggest one is business.
Yeah.
They've come to make money,
Yeah.
regardless of whatsoever. there's a whole intention that really come to make things easier, meaning finding a way of how we can be able to, let me say, reason better, write better, or do other things better. You make it easier, right? Right now, when you look at your S24 Galaxy, Samsung, you can be able, like, for instance, suck a photo. And there's like a couple of things. But also, I feel like by the fact that they make things easier, there's also a danger to it. Because for me, I feel like there's a way we as humans have been created to be able to make certain parts of either our body or brains active. Like, you shouldn't really play with certain parts of us.
Exactly.
So I've tried living where I like live straight away 1 month, generating everything from AI.
Exactly.
So there's like a couple, even there's a moment I became so lazy that you send me an email, like I look at the email, just I don't even read it. Like I copy it and give it and I say, hey, reply this. And I get it and I give back. Now, I realize, first of all, I'm getting cut out of conversations that I even have no idea what is really happening. Yeah, there's good English, it is gone there. But I'm really out reasoning. The next time we're in a meeting and probably there's something I really have to be talking about, and they're like, hey, Romeo, you know, you actually talked about this in your email in the third line.
You're like, did I?
Like, guys, what email is that? Like, okay, cool. I'm just going to forward and send it back to you. And you're like, you are really talking about this. Was it really me? So I'm really going to be a little bit conservative on certain things. I'm going to be like, as much as it's like there's a huge intention about it, I feel like also individuals have to create their personal intentions on what they really want to use this thing for. Because the aspect of how to use them becomes a huge challenge, really. Because I look at people, I support. When you're going to use it to proofread something you create, maybe you really want to make up your grammar.
Summarize things.
Exactly. You want to summarize it. I'm a lazy guy in reading certain books. Like, I really want to get a summary of it. You're going to give it to me. Cool. You're going to use it to make things that already exist easier. Don't use it to create things. Don't begin creating certain things from zero.
Exactly.
I don't know really what you think about it.
No, I think that like you said, I think that AIs in general people should use it to like try to reason with them, right? With themselves. Like if you're creative, right? You can present a challenge to it and then you can hear what the AI says. It's almost like you have a partner in the room and you're discussing solution, throwing back and forth questions and answers. I feel like that is a very useful case study for AI. Where I think AI fails is like these ChatGPT essays, right? It's like the jargons, right? The expressions, like ChatGPT especially, it's very expressive. The outstanding, the whatever's like, calm your tits.
Honestly.
And then I like the approach of AIs that is used for personal benefit to just make your life exciting and better and easier. For example, circle the search on Gemini on Google Fonts. It's like you look at something, right, on a photo, in a photo, and you want to just like, what is that headphone that Romeo is wearing? You can circle it and actually find it without having to look for, there's a video of this guy, what headphones is he wearing, and all that long Google search thing that you have to go through. So I feel that like AI should help make people's lives easier.
4. Is it
4.5
or something
0,
like
whatever,
that? Whatever stand for you, whereby like you have to use the camera and all that. Does that really fit in the same group of that?
I think it's fun, but I don't think that it's useful. Right?
Okay.
So let's imagine that you have a ChatGPT here, right? You can say, "Oh, what do you see in the room?" Of course, it's just we have a bicolor light, right? We have a microphone set up somewhere here. We have guitars around. We have earman, whatever, and so on. So what? You already know those things, right? I think that the only important use case is that you maybe want to repair this DLZ, right? So you say, oh, this is what I'm working with. What is the solution? And then you can look at the library of data sets that it has been trained on to see like what is a possible solution that could work for you. But still, even that part of the internet is still not perfect. Like Google is telling people to make pizza with glue.
Yeah, I saw that.
So like, if you want to make pizza with glue, this is your cue to go ahead.
I mean, like I get it, and it's both frightening.
But I think it's so dangerous to students. I think he didn't put that for the students.
Is it dangerous? I think yes. a high percentage, yes, for the academia,
Yeah.
but it can also be useful. Me, like, as I said, don't use it to create things.
They use it great things.
Don't use it to create essays. Like if there's a coursework, but don't make
Yeah, don't make ChatGPT
yeah,
write
like,
down.
don't do that.
In the class, so they gave us coursework.
Mm.
You give us, sir. Just they gave us. We did 5 minutes. Coursework is done. They send it. I was like, how? No, sir, we are done. Okay, come and explain.
Yeah.
Guy failed to explain.
Yeah.
Why? Because he
ChatGPT.
did create it
Yeah.
himself. And trust.
I've talked about this before. I think
Yeah.
that like in the university you learn a lot of skills, right? You're learning whatever you're dealing with in your major, right? Two, the coursework that you get actually helps you research. So you're learning research skills. Compiling that data that you've researched, you're learning writing skills, right? And things that are really useful in the job market, in the job place. And then you defend your thesis, your essays, and blah blah blah. You're learning skills to, like, present yourself and your work and whatever in the actual real world, right? A lot of people are skipping all these steps by just one, search button on the internet, going to ChatGPT or Gemini, right? So there's a chance that a lot of people are going to graduate in 4 years and they completely know nothing about the real world because they have not gone to the field, they have not talked to people, they have not compared notes and all these things. And I feel like these are really, really important. So if you're a university student out there, write your essays. I mean, I would forgive you going to ChatGPT and say, correct my grammar. And I think that is a really good use of these tools here.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm soon for your beauty, not a fool like the city. Ayy, falling hard for you like a hopeless romantic. Looking right at you, but you're cool and aesthetic. You a 5-course meal, not a snack. And the know it, but it's so nice.
You're the 5-course meal, not a snack.
Now, Jaiksana,
Yeah.
can you tell us a little thing about your music? Like you just started music,
Yeah.
but really, you like from the start. You told us like you started in the community setup. Then from nowhere you entered into music.
From
And it is-
somewhere.
Yeah,
Mm.
just from somewhere. You started music.
No.
Do you think like the music you're producing, is it a part of the community thing you're doing
Yeah.
to pass information
Yeah.
to the community, or what are you communicating out, or what kind of music are you producing?
Yeah. I think the only thing in my life that's really personal is my music,
Yes.
right? And I don't do it for the community. Like I do it for myself.
Okay.
And I think I'm an avid listener of music, right? Like I told you guys, I was among the 8% of the top music listeners in the world on Spotify. And this is a huge,
Yo.
it's a huge platform, one of the biggest streaming platforms in the world. So I listen to too much music. I've always felt that like it doesn't matter whether you're on the creating or listening side, music just finds a way to like touch you and touches you.
Gentle touch.
This wishes are nothing.
Yeah, George is a lost cause. It's a lost cause. Yeah, but like whether you're in the creating or listening side, like there's so much that music do for people. And I am like, I think that if I think about music in my life, I don't think about it as a creator. I think about it as a consumer. Because even up to now, I think like the best part of music for me is the consuming part. Because people are just intelligent. People are intelligent in the way they express, whether that is love, pain, sadness, whether that is happiness, is that you find songs that just like uplift you and change your mindset about the day and stuff like that. Like rap music, man, you find someone say something in a way that like blows your mind. Like someone said, listen, someone said, I failed, but I put the L's behind me like a learner driver, and I'm like, go, dude. Go. It's like insane. So I think that like music is so impactful. Music has impacted my life in ways that are, I think I can explain. Like 2020, COVID-19, family issues, personal life. Like I've dealt with things that like I find no person or situation or people or things to actually relate with. And then I started listening to Will Lowry, right? And then this dude is singing about loss, like he sang about losing his grandfather to dementia. And the way he says it, like, you know, it's like, dude, it's sad that you can even remember who I am. And I think that hits harder than anything else. It's like the person is not dead, they're here, but just their memories, their brains, all gone. They can't even remember who you are, a person that they've known their whole lives. And I started really seeing how people deal with loss, how people deal with pain. And also about love, right? It's like we live in a world where love is transactional. People are in it, in the love for themselves, right? It's like, what am I gaining out of this? And so if you're coming in with pure intentions, you're likely to get played and to hear people talk about this in songs, but also maybe even from their own perspectives. Like, I heard this song by an artist called Lucidius, and it said like, I'm sorry to you saying to the girlfriend, because like after Veronica cheated, like in my past, listen, every girl I'm like, y'all are just trash, right? Because like his heart has been broken to a point that like he cannot come to terms with the idea of trust. So I really found stories to that link to me personally about my life, but also about my thought process about a lot of things. So for me, I think that like music is impactful, and I'm happy that I'm making music because also there are things that I think I want to say, right? And I think like that's why my songs are not generic, right? It's like I have a song called Wishes. I have a song called Where Is Home. I have a song called Run. It's like the titles are almost like, you know, you can't tell what the song is about until you listen to it. And for me, because I feel like also, I think of music as a storytelling sort of platform, right? And I always encourage people, like, if you listen to my music, go to the lyrics, right? The real value is there, because like I'm trying to tell a story, right? Like the song Wishes. A lot of people's like, oh, I actually asked someone to feature on the song. I sent them the beat and the chorus, and they're like, so what should I sing about? Right? Because the concept of, like, I wish you were right here, I wish that you know you're in my mind, but every time that you doubt my feelings for you, right? Like, I know that these wishes of mine for a future together, for a relationship that I have imagined in my head and it looks beautiful, it's not gonna happen, and that crushes you more than anything. But also for me, the idea of the song is about people recognizing that love and relationships and people are not black and white, right? It's not like you either white or black. It's that there's a spectrum of colors, right? There are people who really want to love, but they're treating you like shit because they have been treated like shit, and they really don't know how to deal with you. That's why I said in the song, like, you know, I can't blame you, right? Because you can also tell intentions.
Exactly.
Like, I love you and I've told you that, but can you tell my intentions? Like, really, behind the I love yous, what is the motivation?
No, that's awesome. Now, for me, I just want to tell you that you left us somewhere.
Okay.
So, Jaiksana, we as fans, we are waiting to leave where we are. So the first time Jaiksana started music, he made us run. He's like, guys, run, run. Then from now, he said, guys, stay. It's like, guys, stay, man. And now, he made us to start levitating. We're high, levitating somewhere. And then he's like, guys, you should start wishing for something. Now we started wishing for a couple of things in our life. Then he got us confused, like, niggas, but where is the home, man? Now, your next stuff should be something. But at the moment, he has released something, which of course a couple of us should be able to check. It's Grateful. So Grateful is out there now on YouTube, and you should be able to check it out. Such a beautiful song. And just forget about the joke. The reality is that all your music has like a very deep sense of inspiration. I mean, like, you've talked about your mother in your music. You've talked about your personal life. You've talked about your story. Grateful is entirely about your story and how you're thanking God. for having done a couple of things for you, and how you really came on from the trenches and the gutters, and here you are. What is like your? I want to look at your art of writing from your point of inspiration. Yes. How do you? What do you draw? I want to look at what are you drawing at? Are you drawing from pain? Are you drawing from anger? Are you drawing from excitement? Are you drawing from what is that source? Where is that coming from?
So, good question. So someone asked me if I'm a good artist, and I told them no, because I feel like I draw my inspiration from a very dark source, and I feel like that is not a good.
Could be a good place.
I don't think it's a good place to base your artistry on, right? Because and I'll tell you like my thought process of writing songs. The song Mama, I wrote it on the instant. Like you know, I travel up and down, and my mother lives in the refugee camp, and so I went to visit, and I woke up one morning when she's cleaned the compound, and she's like wearing these farm clothes. She came from the farm, and they brought cassava, and like they're putting the cassava out to dry, and you can like really see her almost like a machine, right? Trying to fix like a bunch of pieces together and whatever and so on. And that almost brought tears to my eyes, because like, and that was the inspiration of the song, because like I see what she's going through, and I'm like, Mama, I love you. I want you to know I'm nothing without you, but I can't really do stuff for you now. But when I do, right, your rent won't be due. This thing of like, oh, you need to pay your rent. No, we have not paid rent. No, your rent won't be due.
You had the right line,
right?
It's Mama, whatever.
You'd be in a mansion, right?
Don't sing it wrong.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll be traveling to Peru. We'll be seeing views in Europe and all of that and so on. For me, like that is a vision inspired by love for my mother, but also it's like really based on like seeing real life, like what African mothers go through to make just things work. And so I wrote that on the instant, and it didn't come like, oh, I want to write a song called Mama. What am I looking for? And I just like wrote it on the instant, recorded it on my phone, got to my producer, and I worked on it, and then it came out. And all the other songs basically have similar stories, right? It's like, don't ask me about heartbreak songs. But like all the other songs have similar stories.
Yeah. I mean, your songs are very relatable to a lot of people, me inclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us here, there's a way we appreciate our mothers in a certain way. Yeah. Your heartbreak songs, I don't know really whether I'm that heartbroken, but for some reason I don't know why I really relate with it. And also I don't know who hurt you. Maybe is it okay to declare publicly and we can officially know who hurt Jaiksana? Yes. Yes, Jaiksana.
As Jaiksana is thinking.
Yes, Jaiksana.
If you're watching this interview, you're not forgiven. No, it's like no. I think that I'm not like heartbroken. Like I know people who are heartbroken, right? I know people who wanna like. I know people who are heartbroken, man. Like people can say like what they've tried to do, but I know people who are heartbroken. I know people who have refused to eat, literally. People who have cried for weeks in their beds because
like
of
George.
Hey George, I mean, like if we're not together, like supporting him, man. Like
I know what it
was a difficult time.
We are always gonna be there for you, my brother.
Yeah, but the point for me, I think that my heartbreak. Yes, my idea of heartbreak, I think, comes from my upbringing. So we come from the church, right? And in the church, like we, in the church, like we have these church workshops, right?
Yeah.
Family life, church lifestyle, right? Like the youth come together and advise you, like courtship. How does courtship function and work in the church environment? It's like, oh, you find the girl, you talk to her, you talk in public spaces, but you also understand that love is sacred, it's made by God, and all these things. And so the idea of love for me from the onset has been about like God created this institution, right? You want to find the right person, you want to love them the right way, you want to try to make things work in the relationship, you want them to be the only one, right? And then that's not how the real world works, right? The real world doesn't function like that. People lie, people cheat, right? people don't have a girlfriend. People have a football team, right? Or a basketball or a netball team if it's girls. Or boyfriends and girlfriends, right? It's like you're not the only one, right? And that awareness really changes your perspective on relationships, right? Because like when I open up to this person as much about who I am, because I think like you can build trust without knowing yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if I tell this person really a lot about me, who I am, whatever, and become vulnerable, pull down my guards. What if I'm just one in 10 people she's dating? Like, how much does this sharing and vulnerability actually mean to that person? And then what happens? You start pulling your guards up, right? You start treating them like another person. It's like the love doesn't mean much. And even that awareness, it's like you're a gangster, you're strong, but if it happens to you, even after that awareness, it still crushes you because like it's crazy. So for me, my songs are all written from that perspective. But I think what people ignore about my songs is, so I wrote a song called listen.
Helios Cars.
Helios Cars.
One of my best songs.
Yeah, man. So Helios Cars, all the things that I wrote in the song, I'm not actually like saying, oh, this is me, I cheat, I lie, I gaslight, I do all the things. That is not the intention of the song. I'm trying to take a persona to tell a story about how relationships sort of function. But for me also, like, the really crucial element in the song is that I'm telling this song from a perspective of a man who wants to change. Right? Someone wants to change. So this person's like, listen, you've been texting me, you've been calling me, and you've been blaming that I don't pick up your calls. But you know I'm a busy man, right? I've been working. And this is, you're gaslighting the person. It's like, they want to complain, but like, I'm working for us, and you're complaining about, it's like, but I'm like, oh, nah, listen, right?
Yeah.
I've been camouflaging.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm a liar, right? Because listen, what? I grew up from a family that is so messed up, right? And I'm coming with my guards up. And all these cheating rumors or whatever and so on, I feel so small as a person, right? And I'm dating all these many women that I'm cheating on you with to sort of validate myself, make myself feel important. So the song is to like paint a picture for men, a portrait for them to see a reflection of themselves, but also for women to see that, like, conversations need to be had in relationships about more than, oh, I miss your voice. I love hearing your voice. It's like more than that. It's like, what is your trauma?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because like those things inform a lot of things in the relationships.
That's actually very true.
Yeah.
And when I listen to like Helios Cars and like how you've really been talking about it, one thing that came in my mind is like, do really such kind of people really change? Because there's an aspect. So I was with this amazing girl who told me one time is that she had to leave a relationship that if you ask her, is her man bad, she doesn't know what she's gonna tell you. Because when today something happens, the guy is like, for instance, the guy just messed up. And the guy's gonna come and be like, hey, I understand what I did. And what I did was really wrong. And I'm really sorry about this. And regardless of how much we're gonna talk about this, I'm really sorry. Then after 2 days, he does the same thing. It's like, yo, I know last time I hurt you, but I'm really sorry about this. And I'm gonna do this. And this is when you try to figure out and be like, when is gaslighting? Because I know there's an aspect of like saying, hey, no, I really didn't pick your call because for some reason I'm working for us, right? Like that, I get it. But then there's an aspect of, hey, I know I didn't pick your call, I'm really sorry about this, and I know that was wrong, but I really want to change. But you don't really change. When does this, I don't know whether you get what I'm saying.
I'm getting it.
You get what I'm saying,
So
right?
for me,
exactly.
I think that like with change in relationships, right? If it has to do with you, it's probably not the right kind of change. If it has to do with the person, I think that's the right kind of change, right? Because like, have you loved someone, right? And then you do something really bad, and then you're like, this person doesn't deserve that. You decide to change for that sake. I think that's a genuine kind of change. But a lot of the things that you're saying is that people just being users, right? It's like they want access to you, and what are they gonna do? They're gonna create narratives. They're gonna create stories that sound sweet, things that you might want to hear to stay, so that they can use you as much as they want, and then achieve their end goal, whatever that is. But I feel like with genuine, healthy relationships, you are looking at people wanting to do what is best for the other person. Yeah. For me, I think in a nutshell, a healthy relationship really is about doing something for the other person and not for yourself, right?
Okay.
I think that there's a lot of self-interest, and I think that those self-interest are what actually makes some relationships really bad. So for me, I think that if you see something about someone, you notice something, and you do something for them, I think that's what really defines a relationship that is good and healthy, right? So it's not about like, what do I want, right? Because I want things, right? But like, what does that person want? And I think also like really defining that genuinely.
Yes, and actually being extremely healthy with it, because I understand the fact that as much as there could be situations whereby your interest could be misunderstood as a person, and that I think comes a long way. Okay, so like for instance, it comes from conversations and stuff. Me to know, hey, my partner, what do I want to focus on you as your interest, and what do I really want to do? So the aspect of genuinity should really begin a long way. So it could even begin from courting itself.
Exactly.
Whereby you guys are having conversations about the things you love, the things, because on that is what I'm gonna base on what I should do for you.
Exactly.
But beyond that, also I think I want to think and be like, what is like the best thing I would want to do for the person that I love?
Exactly.
But also the best thing should be defined between both of us. Like really what could be good for you. Like what I know very well, for instance, Jaiksana doesn't like calls.
Oh.
I have a complicated
Yeah, he has a very complicated relationship with calls. So if you're Jaiksana's girlfriend,
we're talking person.
yes, so it's a whole thing. And I mean, like, people be like, I want to get into this relationship because of me. It's my selfish interest. It's like I want to get there because I feel like I want to do something. But as much as I also tend to agree with that partially, because I feel like as much as you're going to get into a relationship to be able to impress another person, don't get lost doing that.
Don't get lost there. So for me, I think that when we're talking about doing something for someone, it shouldn't be like, oh, this person likes Chelsea, so I'm gonna bombard them with Chelsea memes. And I'm not saying Chelsea memes are bad. Chelsea memes are good.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I think it's more than that. It's about values, right? So like, what is the value system of this person? Like, what do they value, right? When it comes to their life, is family important for them, right? Is career important for them? Is planning for the future and all these things, is that good for them? Like, how do they look at that? Now, if those values, if you're aware of those values, you're able to be in an environment with this person where you treat them with, what do I say? How do I put it? And you treat them in a way that really responds to how they view the world, right? Now, the other thing as well is that it's about understanding, like, how does this person function, right? It's like we've talked about this before. So my issues with calls is not that I hate calls. It's just that I've grown up as a person who cannot multitask, right? So if I am on the internet watching a video, it doesn't matter how important or less important that video is. I feel like I should finish the video first before I pick a call.
Yeah.
And especially also at home, like I work from home and my phone is my internet router. And any call interrupts the internet. And sometimes like you're on a business call or whatever and so on, and someone calls or whatever and so on. So usually like if I'm dating someone, I'm like, let's talk in the evening, right? It's like we're done with the hustle and the bustle of the day, right? Like I genuinely want to hear from you.
Yes.
Like, how was your day, right? And like we can talk about the most trivial things, like was the sun too hot, right? Like was the sun too hot for you today, right?
Jaiksana.
And and I'm willing to like delve into like all kinds of conversation with you at that time because I feel like, listen, I've conquered the day or I've been defeated by the day. Let's talk about ourselves.
So, whose interest is so
Yeah.
Jaiksana doesn't like calls.
Yeah.
But this lady feels
Yeah.
checking on the person I love
Yeah.
is the good thing I'm doing for them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe the girl also loves to be checked on
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you think priorities of whose interest has to play
Yeah.
on what basis?
Yeah. It's about compromise.
Ah.
It's about compromise. That's what I'm saying. I don't do calls during the day. Can we talk about anything when I'm done? Like with the day. Like I said, can be as trivial as like, how was the sun today? And I don't
Yes.
care about whatever. Like, let's talk about it, right?
Yes.
But then the person also, I think like I said, the second thing is like, how does the person function? Like they know that's how I function, right? And if you work with that system, right? We're sort of like I'm talking to you, like I want to like have all kinds of conversations with you, and like you guys don't think that I'm a horrible human being. I'm actually really sweet. But just that like I deal with my days differently, and I want to talk to you at the times that is convenient. And it doesn't mean that I don't talk during the day. I'm just saying that like relatively, if you call me during the day, I'll probably not take up the phone.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it doesn't matter who you are. And I like texting. I feel like texting is easy. I can do that on the side of whatever I'm doing.
Exactly.
Right? So we text anytime. But let's talk when I can talk. Right? Let's weigh and balance our priorities, how we function as human beings, and let's find what works for us. Because I feel like long term, relationships really about what works for the two of you.
Exactly.
Right? That system. So it's not gonna be like my interest is overweigh yours. It's not gonna be like your interest is overweigh mine. And I've had relationships that have mutually and amicably come to an end because we're like, listen, I think at this point our interests don't align. Right? So what do we do? The love relationship idea is putting so much stress on us that the friendship element of our relationship starts to stifle. It's not growing anymore. Now, right now, whatever this love relationship thing brings to our union is stress and suspicion and fear of each other and all of that and so on. It's not healthy. Right? And it happens with every relationship. The idea of relationships is that you're supposed to be together, you're supposed to be a unit. And the person then expects a lot from that relationship. And sometimes that it goes to a point where it only yields bad things. And so for me, I've come to the stage of growth where I realize that I love you. That doesn't change.
Yes.
Right? But if our interests, if our lives, right, cannot function together, because it's different things, like cannot function together, or would rather stay friends and check on each other and go on vacations with each other and be in same friend circles and groups with each other than for us to really hate each other and hate each other's guts that we can't even like shake hands in public. So for me, that's how I define it. Like you function together or you don't.
Have you ever compromised?
And what did you compromise?
Anything? And what was it that you compromised in relationship?
Let's make a pause. Let me think about it.
Let me think about something that I compromised on.
Yes.
So I compromised on. So we're in a long distance relationship, right? Different time zones. I wake up in the morning, the person is already at 1 p.m. Right? So like 6 my time, the person is already 1 p.m. So we sort of have to figure out a system to be able to talk. And I don't talk like that. It's like I have a system. Don't break the system.
Yes.
And I figured out like, listen, okay, we're gonna sit together. We actually had a call to talk about it. It's like, listen, so you wake up like early when I'm in bed. I wake up around 6, 7, 8 when it's 2 p.m. and you're probably in class, school and stuff. Let's choose specific times for us to talk. 5 p.m. my time is about 10, 11, I think, her time, going to midnight. And she's out of school, she's at home trying to like sleep and whatever and so on. And at that time, my time, I'm probably like down with work as well. So we talk at that point before she goes to sleep, and I'm dealing with the evening. And on specific days, we can do when I wake up early, and she's probably doing lunch. And that system, I think, came out of compromise. It's like, I know that we're gonna have to make this work, right? And somehow we need to redesign like how we function as human beings, redesign our system, make something that works for the both of us. So for me, I feel like that was a big compromise to how I just basically function as a human being.
Have you ever compromised on something?
Joey doesn't compromise. This is Idi Amin Dada reborn.
And by the way, to all the viewers and listeners of this amazing podcast, just know that this podcast was proudly sponsored and brought to you by Taban Emmanuel. So for some reason, all reasons of all his amazing support of content creation and all things to be happening, he doesn't have a specific product that he's selling. I wish he should be having anyways. But we would love to say that he sponsored this podcast and a couple of others. So thank you so much, Taban. Shout out to you wherever you are in Canada. And please, we wish you the best.
Send
and
money.
we can't send more money, and we can't wish to see you get married. I want to buy a goat. What are you buying for Taban
For Taban.
as he's getting married?
An English stick.
I'm mingling.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, Taban, thank you so much, and I think your support is warmly welcome, and please continue supporting amazing stuff like that. And I think as much as we, even the podcast, would love to support a lot of other people in different kinds of ways, maybe in such kind of conversations, but we also still welcome a lot of support, by the way. If you really want to sponsor a podcast and an episode and something like that, you are very welcome, and you can talk to George, who is the CEO and the COO and the MD. I'll find the guy of the podcast. And yes, and over the show, of course, we are having Jaiksana Soro.
The way you say it.
Yeah.
So it's Soro, not Soro. Soro is prostitutes.
So we're having Jaiksana and one very single guy that I don't know for some reason why he is until now. But by the way, no, let's ask this. Let's ask this. Jaiksana, why have you chosen to be this single?
But is Jaiksana single?
Single.
Because it's by choice.
Single in terms of what?
Jaiksana, there's no acting wise with this.
Yeah, I'm just
in terms
like
of not having a woman. Do you have a girlfriend?
Do I have a girlfriend?
Yes or no?
I do.
You do?
I do. I have a girlfriend. I love her so much.
What's her name?
Please,
to
all of you who identify as his girlfriend, they love you so much. I'm joking.
You want to prove you wrong by mentioning the name.
I know. So about names, so this is no. My life is public.
Private.
My life is public. Y'all can ask anything about me and I can give it in your face. But I think about someone else, like unless they are my wife, then I have the privilege, the will, the whatever to talk about them. But like now, like we're talking about someone's daughter, someone's sister.
Have you heard of Jaiksana's lyrics? You've seen his lyrics. You've heard of his songs.
Yeah.
All his songs. And you expect Jaiksana to give you an obvious answer about his girlfriend.
Black or white.
Yeah, Jaiksana, it was awesome having you on the show. There's a lot we could be able to discuss. And I know we have discussed here from, if you really got this podcast at this position, I would really want you to get back, because it's like a lot of things you've talked about. Technology, relationships, our view on youth and collaborations, and a couple of things in the society, and what does it mean actually to be able to either actually think about maybe working for the community or working for yourself.
Yeah.
We have had trivia questions about what Jaiksana loves and a couple of things. We really want to know a lot about him. there's so much we could be able to talk on this podcast and
Sure.
have like more than 3 hours of this podcast having conversations. But I think the last thing is going to be around the aspect of I wanted to go back to last questions, which is going to be, hey, by the way, in any part of the show when you see me holding the phone, it doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to the podcast. I'm just like using it as a space.
He's
to
not
be able to do-
texting the exes.
Yes. Yeah, this is a little bit okay. Some of this is a little bit intimate.
Let's
but-
do them. Let's
but
do
whatever.
them. Let's do
Yeah,
them.
so I'm gonna start with the last one, which says comforting presence or heartfelt compliment.
Comforting presence.
Why?
I'm a very physical person, like I told you guys. Like,
Uh-huh.
I think there's a lot more substance when the person is next to you. And I think that like there are times where I'm feeling really bad or I'm sick, and then just someone is around, and that completely changes the atmosphere.
How have you been dealing with that? Yet a lot of your relationships have been long distance.
No, I think that when it comes to wait, is that only in the context of love relationships?
No, actually, it's regardless because
General.
because it's not relationship.
Yeah.
It's like really
Yeah.
personal. It could be
Yeah.
relationship. Could
Exactly.
Be anything. So, like I'm asking you on the
Yeah.
aspect of relationship
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Most of the relationships have been
Yeah.
long distance, as you really mentioned.
Yeah, yeah.
How have you been dealing it? Or is that the compromise in your relationship as well?
No, I think that long distance relationships are the best type of relationships.
So you go with heartfelt compliment
No,
because that actually
no,
works
no.
well for long
So
distance relationships.
so when you talk about love relationships, right?
Mm.
Because for me, I'm taking the question in general terms.
Mm.
So I grew with a single mother, right?
Yes.
So it means that like every time I'm sick, she's there in the room,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And growing up and moving out of home, I was so fucking disoriented, like with life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm sick in my house that I'm renting somewhere in a different city,
Mm.
and it feels like I'm gonna die because the idea that someone is there physically next to you has been erased from my mind, and I didn't know how to like cope with that. So for me, when I'm feeling down or whatever and so on, and I have someone next to me, it just changes the atmosphere, it changes my life, and I think that I would still go for it. About long distance relationships, I think that they're beautiful in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that a lot of times relationships are really about making memories. So for me, I think of relationships this way, George.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about a relationship from your past, what comes to your head? Like a relationship from your past, like what comes to your head?
The past could have been like 2 hours ago after breaking up.
After breaking up or being broken up with?
Yes. What comes to your mind?
Like about relationship.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
past.
Like
the past
if you
one.
think
Past
about
relationship.
like, a relationship that you've been
Mm,
in
mm.
with a person,
Mm.
there has to be a person in it.
Mm.
Yeah, of course.
What do you remember the most?
Like one, it's about because one, when you fall into a relationship with a person, one, you want a company. You want that person's company. You want that person's time. You want that person to be with you because sometimes there's certain situation that you don't share with your brother even.
Yeah.
You don't share with your friend. You don't share with your mother.
Of
But
course,
at the
Judy,
end of
I'm
the
not gonna
day-
share with you certain things.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm your friend,
So-
but I'm not sharing with you.
So, like, I see my past relationship like I want a union of a person being next to me, a company of a person that I can give a room to, that I can talk to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me,
Mm.
I remember with one of my exes,
Mm.
us in a room together,
Mm.
singing on top of our voices
Mm.
to one of my favorite artists.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
Like we're rapping the songs word by word with the lyrics on my phone, and that memory is never gonna be erased. Right?
Mhm.
It's like stuck in my head. Also, like with a different person in the past. Like one thing I remember is like we talked about touch before. Like I met someone who really like has this language of touch. Like they hold the body, right?
Mhm.
And like somehow like they're aware of every little crevice or whatever on your body. It's like, and like I remember that about her. And also like someone called me J King instead of Jaiksana. It's like J King. So for me, I think love relationships are about creating memories together. Something that memories that are core to who you are, but to the relationship. And for me, distance really doesn't put a limit on how you create that, right? It's like there are people that you set up times, and you talk about your days, right? You share a playlist, you share movies, and when you meet, right? When you meet, you have so much to catch up on, even if like you've been together.
Yep.
But also like the awareness that like people, because I also feel like long distance relationships really test the idea of fidelity, the idea of commitment to a person, right? Because like some people they're close, but they're non-commercial, right? To who they are, to their partners in the relationship. But I think that if you are willing to make a relationship work long distance, I mean, you're probably set. So for me, I feel like it's really a good test for seeing how committed someone is to the idea of a relationship or life with you.
So heartfelt compliment for me works best when you are courting. For some reason, I feel like it is like a source of energy.
Yeah.
So for me, I look at like heartfelt compliments, like really pick up so
What
well.
is the heartfelt compliment you remember?
So a heartfelt compliment is one that this girl told me, and it's like, Romeo, every time you talk to me, I feel renewed in my purpose, literally. And I didn't know my words had such amount of power, but for some reason someone felt it that really every time I talk to them, there's like a sense of renewal and whatever, and the way how genuine they were with it, and I actually see that happening. Like really, after talking to them, they feel like there's something that's happened to them. Really, like you see, if they were tired for some reason, they get more energetic and all that stuff. So that felt so really heartfelt to me. Like I felt so connected. So that's why I say like heartfelt compliments really work well when you're courting, because they really bring in a lot of energy, and they bring in because a lot of people when they are courting, there's a lot of self-doubt. There's too much self-doubt in what people think in relationships, because they really don't know a lot of people when you're courting. Comforting presence is what you need when you're married, because sometimes
I think in marriage you really need all of them.
You need all of them, but if you're talking about to choose either, I would say comforting presence is what you need, because now in marriage you really 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 want to be with somebody whose presence is going to be comforting to you, because if you're going to be with a person whose presence is annoying,
young people, Nyash is not Nyash is not a comforting presence.
If you're gonna have somebody whose presence is not comforting, regardless of what they bring to the table, just know that you're ruined. You could deal with that in your courtship, because I mean, like when you're courting, none of you really live together unless you are in this cohabiting whatever thing. But at most cases, when you're really courting, you're in your homes and whatever. All you need is like, hey, you look so beautiful in your new hair that you sent me the photo for, or whatever. God's compliments and keep you guys going. I can say, date someone who's can give you those heartfelt compliments. Marry someone you're comfortable with, that you're going to. So if it is the same person who can offer you two values, beautiful. If it's not the same person, okay. It's gonna be crazy. Jaiksana, heartfelt lyrics, catchy melody.
Ooh. Why? Why did we have to do this?
Yes.
I wish this is like the drinking game. You'd be like, I'll drink this. I'll go with the lyrics, really. I think that melodies are, because I think it really also is reflecting like what kind of music is in my playlist, right? A bunch of music that I listen to on a daily is really about the lyrics.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I have songs that like people listen to them the first time like, dude, you're crazy, and then like when they get to know the words, right? Like someone said like, baby, if you're gonna play me, let it be on Spotify. And I'm like, what? It's like this rapper. He's like, he said what? Like this girl treats him like an Insta story. Right?
So meaning like within
in 24 hours, I'm gone.
over
And like I don't when I hear words like that, I don't care about your melody. You can keep it.
Yes.
George, what do you think?
Yes, George.
For me,
Listen to this.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jamaica.
Now,
Yo.
catchy. What is it? A catchy melody, or a heartfelt lyrics?
Like for me, it depends on the moment. Like really, it depends on the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there are moments where when you play a song, you just want to hear the melody.
That's
But
when
the-
you're
but
happy.
Yeah. But when there are some certain moment where like you really want to find out, you find the lyrics. The lyrics really hit you. Like when you're down,
Okay,
and you feel like
let's do this.
yes.
Baby, for the last 3 days that I've been saying that I would think about it, I finally did think about it, and the answer is yes. What are you listening to? Melody or lyrics? Melody. And baby,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I've been thinking about this for the past 4 months.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do this. And it's over. What are you listening to?
You're
The lyrics.
traumatizing,
Of
George.
course, yeah. The lyrics.
Uh,
Yeah, because the lyrics, the story, the story behind it is really touchy, and then you feel like, okay, hell with your voice, hell with your melody, or bringing your voice, or bringing, but at the end of the day, the message it carries, it's the word you want to hear. It's not about the melody. But then once she says like, hey babe, I really love you, and there's something like, okay, that voice comes very good with a very good information into it. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
You tie my hand like a bandit. You treat me like a rag. Baby, put me in your pocket.
Yeah. So there's-
Semeka's a gold digger.
no, Semeka is
It's
honestly
a gold digger. He said, baby, put me in your budget.
no. So Semeka, I think the last time we hosted him, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Semeka is going to put a couple of things in his song to describe that girl. He'll either say, "I'm gonna use some bazooka," this week, and
And a mazooka,
In a
whatever that is.
bazooka. Jaiksana, the girl is
This guy.
Semeka will be like, "Put me in your budget." How did Semeka just wanna eat this girl's money?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Jaiksana.
What's the next one?
No, there's a couple.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is very you who likes
Yeah.
making playlists.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This is like personal playlist or a shared mix.
Personal playlist.
Okay.
Personal playlist. Like, shared playlist and mixes, they're like a bag of shit. Yeah, listen, first of all, they mess up with your profile on Spotify. So, like, all these platforms have algorithms. So, they gauge your taste. Like, every time you listen to Chameleon, they know you love Chameleon, so they give you more Chameleon. Right? If you're going to inform my taste on my profile, right, it better be good, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, and I love this so much because I like making, like, I like curating playlists.
Yeah.
So I have a playlist for South Sudan. It's called This is South Sudan on YouTube Music. But I also have a bunch of others as well. I have Nairobi, so it's like Nairobi music or music from Kenya. But like for the people that I love, I actually like sit down sometimes for weeks, picking songs one by one, and like I want the songs to talk to them. And I put together this playlist and I share it with them. And for me, it does more than just like share music. I feel like I'm communicating to them through the music, but really importantly, I feel that we're creating shared interests, right?
Yeah.
It's like you watch a movie together and you go to town and something pops up that is relevant to the movie you watch and you go touche, right? It's like you're really throwing strings around and finding many meaningful ways to connect yourselves together.
Yeah.
So whoever I've shared a playlist with you, you are special. You live in my heart rent free. And you know, if you're running around, just don't use like a rough vehicle. Be soft, run around my heart and my mind, but like, you know, be careful what vehicle you use.
Yes.
No pollution as well. Like, take care of the environment.
So I think but when you talked about soft, it took me to this: soft caress or long embrace.
I wish you could see. Again? What was it?
Soft caress
Uh-huh.
or long embrace?
I'll go with long embrace. I've gotten some long embraces that like beautiful.
I thought you were a softie.
Sensational. I'm a softie, but like
Mm.
has someone really hugged you for 2 minutes, they don't want to let go. And in that moment, both of you really have nothing to say to each other.
Yeah.
Right? It's like no words are adequate enough to describe whatever feeling you guys are going through. And even words would mess up the moments. It's like you are sort of transcendent of this plane that we live in, right? You're in a different space, you're in a different universe. You're connecting at a level that is deeper, and whatever is the reason and the cause for those long embraces is that like they are life defining, right? It's like when some
So,
people like long embraces, go there.
Yeah, so I think
People with like short caresses or whatever, y'all are people who want to do sex. People who want to do intercourse.
Broken in search of hope.
Yeah.
Pushing forward all alone. I'm still as by you didn't know. Them parents broke the vows, had divorced, and I had to go. Now my calm's turned to a storm. I'm suffocated in thoughts. Why am I here pushed through the rain without an education or love? What did I ever do wrong?
yeah, let me not play the law. We're gonna get copyrighted. I know Jaiksana.
Blame the
Yeah.
distributors.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they play differently. I mean, you've said it. So most times,
Yeah.
long embraces are for public consumption. Amongst cases.
PDA.
Soft caresses, of course.
Soft caresses.
George loves
Very sass. That's Gen Z terminology.
Terminology.
Very sass.
very. So they are. I love soft caresses.
Oh,
I love.
I was gonna say something, but probably like
No, my love language is touch.
yeah.
I love touch.
So why
And-
soft?
and
Short caresses.
the touch. I have to be.
Face it, fight it, keep the ground. Forge your own part. It is hard, but always force a smile. Listen, I am always trying. One day,
Yeah. Guys, I don't know whether we shall ever finish having this
George.
conversation.
George,
Yes.
what are you going for?
Soft?
Soft?
Yeah.
So
Long
what is funny
embraces.
with Romy?
Mm.
Romeo.
Romeo wants to explain
Eh?
his point,
Hey.
but it's very explicit, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need
I
to
know.
put
We also love.
PG 16, 18 or something. Yeah.
have your back.
Which it
No.
means if kids are watching it, they have to watch with their parents, so they know when to pause.
Yeah. So, but I think no, it's okay. George, what do you go for?
The long embrace.
what are you longing? George, what are you longing?
No, I'm just joining my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like the long embraces?
Yeah.
You understand the long embraces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you last embrace somebody in a long way?
In the long way.
It has been a long time.
It was a long time since George got a long embrace in the long way.
Yeah. It's awesome. We have a couple of
let's do one, let's shoot
amazing questions. I don't really think we shall be able to finish them, but I think I will get it. This is so much into your lyrics and like how you get it. I don't know how, but personal diary or intimate chart.
Good. I've been in love with the idea of diaries. I've written a bunch of them myself in the past. But I'll go with chats. I'll go with chats.
Charts meaning you really have to have the other side of the trusting face of another person because they're intimate.
Yeah.
So it's like a space of where do you pour out
Yeah.
in the diary or in the chart.
Man, why does it have to be this difficult? No, because like I understand like privacy, but also like
Yes.
long term if things changes.
Yes.
Like where are you living your thoughts?
Exactly.
What kind of space are you living them in? But with that, all that being said, chats.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're functional. I've not remember the last time I wrote to a diary. But I remember the last time I wrote to a text, on text messages. I do that all the time, right? And I am the most vulnerable person out there, right? It's like I say whatever I feel in the moment. I send cute texts, right, to people, and
Yes.
yeah, chats.
So you go with chats.
I go with chats.
George, what did you go with?
I'll go with diary.
Diary. George, do you write on your diary?
Yes, I do.
What was the last entry?
Yeah, by the way.
What did you write
what was the
about?
last
Did
thing
you
you
still
wrote in
ask
your
the-
It's
diary?
my privacy. My own privacy.
Okay. I love that.
I aimlessly wrote in my diary for some time. Like I watched the movie, not a movie actually. I watched a book. I think it's about like this vampire series. What is the guy Dracula, right? So in the in the book, somehow they get to discover the secrets of whatever happened through a diary someone wrote.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, if I die, I want people to know what happened.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So like for a month, not even a month, I think like a couple of months actually, I wrote my day in detail. Like every evening I go home, so like, listen, today I met Romeo, we did this and we did that. And for me, this is like my takeaways from the day. I feel like that was beautiful, this was not, and blah blah blah. So there was a time I actually wrote a bunch, and it was dumb, it was stupid, but also when I look back and I read them now, I really get this really fresh perspective of who I was by then in so much detail. So I thought that was really beautiful.
Yes, it was. I think I'm a fan of chats. Okay, but with the fear of later, where I'm throwing this out, I mean, like, apart from the fact that I'm afraid of the other person who also is going to receive this in the other side, there's an aspect of which technology and means we're using to have these communications and conversations. That limits me a lot. But then also the aspect of me writing my diary, I have a thing of, because for some reason it's kind of like movie centered of like, you write your diary, you expect to either read them or people to read them.
Exactly.
But most times they don't read my diary. So there was a time I used Google Keep. I actually got the inspiration from you. I used Google Keep to write like a lot of my stuff. I recently went back to check and I was like, yo, okay.
Was this me?
Like, was this really me? So it's like a very different version of me. So I don't know what I would say.
Yeah.
But
I have a question. Are you in favor or against asking social media platforms to completely block screenshots and stuff like that?
Yes.
Like
I'm really in favor.
Yeah, I think WhatsApp,
So-
Telegram, Messenger, like we don't need the screenshots.
all chatting,
Platforms.
platforms.
Yeah.
I don't think we really need a screenshot
We don't
because,
need
like, I mean,
screenshots,
like,
yeah.
who is taking a screenshot for what
Yeah.
purpose? Because what are you documenting?
Exactly.
Because whatever we are talking right now, I feel like it should end there.
it should end there.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, sometimes I don't really blame these guys who have like a 24 thing. What is it?
24 hours.
They
Self-destructing.
disappearing
Self-destructing
messages,
messages,
right?
Yeah.
So you we chat and they just want it to get done because for some reason I feel like let's communicate. It's like what we are communicating right now. We're talking with you and there's like no track record apart from what you really have in your head.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, how does it feel like you're recording everything on your phone and then we're having this conversation? It doesn't really seem so genuine.
Yeah.
There's one thing communicating. There's the other communicating with the intent of using the other person's words in a certain way to disappoint you or something.
Exactly.
That's
so I
not
feel
cool.
like communications happen, right? So if that is the purpose of these platforms, really created for communications, there's no need for people to take screenshots of things. And I'm not saying this is a person who's guilty of things. I just think that like people can be more vulnerable, right? Going into these situations with the guarantee that like no one is gonna screenshot my feelings in the moment and then share it with other people. And also I think that like people, if I send photos to people, like right now on WhatsApp, you can select if you want the photo to go as HD or not.
Yes.
We need a feature where you can say, don't allow download to someone's phone.
Yes.
Right? It's like, I want to send you stuff, but like, I already appreciate like the whole view once thing.
Yes.
But I feel like we could do more.
Yes. I mean, like, the thing is also
make people vulnerable again.
Yeah. So I'm really in support of
Yeah.
we really should not be able to take screenshots, and please don't really take screenshots of chats.
Don't
of
take
people.
screenshots of
Like,
chats, right?
and it doesn't really make a lot of sense
Yeah.
because I have seen a lot of people get into trouble for some of the videos they're trying to share because one, when people are communicating, there's a lot of happen with that. There's context, there's timing, there's everything. I could have sent you, a girl could have sent you a photo of herself, probably in a certain situation. But that makes sense in that timing, in that context, in that before follow-up conversation. What you guys were having, that feelings. When you get the same photo and you put it in front of people, when in a different context, when they're looking at it, it does not communicate the same way. I have a video where I was dancing with somebody, right? Like I was really dancing. It made fun during the time.
But if someone sees
Now
it
think about
somewhere-
this in a corporate meeting, and they put me there. They're like, Romeo, is that you?
Because
So,
like
like honestly, don't do that.
I feel like some chats, like I'm talking to you as a person, right? We have a history together. We're friends. These interests that we're sharing, we share them. You know the context and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then like if you take it away from that context, like the video that you talked about, I saw it because I kind of pushed you to the dance floor. Like when Kampala, this like really beautiful huge woman is performing, and she wanted people to dance with her, and like I pushed Romeo on stage. So there's a video of him dancing on stage, but I pushed him. If someone sees that,
yes,
like I even saw it. I was there, but I was like, dude. I saw the video. Like I was there, but I was like, dude, you're a bad man. You're a bad one, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like context is important.
Exactly.
And I think platforms should be designed to favor that.
That's very true. I'm really in support of that.
Yeah, I'm in support of that as well.
Though beyond everything, I'm really in support of us being grateful. I'm really in support of us being wherever we are, being in support of the fact that we have been able to achieve a lot in our lives. And I can say thank you so much for your hard work, for everything you've done. And thank you so much, our supporters, for being with us from the start of the podcast up to now. Thank you so much, George, for this. And I would say we have been so grateful. And Jaiksana, we are so much grateful for having you on the show.
Just
And
one or two words. The fans?
1, 2 words. Yeah, I'm trying to put like a bunch of music out this year. I think it's been a couple of months since I last put out a track, and I dropped Grateful.
Yes.
With that announcement on the internet, sort of like expressing like how I feel in the moment. Like I think that we take for granted how much good we actually enjoy on a daily, right?
That's
it's
true.
like people always say that it sounds cliche. It's like, oh, you're here today. How many people are in the hospital? I think it's more than that. I think it's more than just like having the privilege to be in this existence.
That's true.
Right? It's like a lot of people take that for granted. So for me, I always tell people, it's like, you're existing, right?
Yeah.
Despite the challenges or whatever, it's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
right? So what you do is like try to be happy, try to make use of that privilege that you've gotten to be alive. And so I put out Grateful, which also sort of reflects on my life, born in the refugee camp and seeing a future that is like entirely blocked. You don't see a way out, and actually making it out to a point where like, we get to have these conversations and record it and put it on the internet. But yeah, I'm going to be putting in new music, check their platforms. I'm also not the kind of artist who's going to be spamming you with like, videos and like messages and stuff like this. So if I put stuff out, listen to it, share with your friends, and let's really like get messages out there. Messages about relationship, how they're healthy, mental health. Let's talk about issues of refugees. Let's talk about partying as well. So I have a couple of songs that are like a different style. I think it's been a lot of experimentation. So like out there, but check my page, stay tuned, and really you guys, it's a privilege and it's an opportunity to be here, and I love it.
We love you
was
here.
beautiful.
Thank you so much for coming. And this is Grateful. It is still new. You can be able to figure it out on the YouTube, and probably there's a couple of amazing things that are going to come out. Amazing collaborations. We really didn't talk a lot about your music, but probably could have you again to be able to talk about like
Yes.
your music particularly.
First question, why are you depressed?
I know. Yeah, thank you so much. And we sign out.
I'm alive.